What it is, focus your homeboy first back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something. Glad to be here with y'all for episode 234 of Put It On Something. And as always, got some real shit on my mind, y'all. I want to share it with you. Before I do, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. Put all your people on it. You feel me? And make sure when you're done watching this, go watch more of the videos on the channel. Now, y'all know usually after a Jackson State game, I give y'all my 5 takeaways, first 5, right? Fuck that. Not today. I have one overall takeaway from Jackson State's game versus Southern Miss. And I want all of Jackson State's players, hell, every Jackson State student needs to hear me. Every young person in Jackson needs to hear me when I say this. You can't do what they do and beat them. You can't do what they do as a black person in this country and beat white people. You can't do it. Can't do it. That game had real life implications. You know what I'm saying? I told my therapist about this game and how, like so many things in sports, this shit was more than just sports. It was race. It was culture. It was socioeconomics. It was politics. It was all that shit wrapped in a football game. You feel me? But I got something on my heart. And I gotta go in and go back into coach mode for this one. Okay? For any new viewers, I used to be a basketball coach, used to be a track coach. Hell, I even delivered the pregame speeches for the football team my last year as an educator and coach. So I need to tap back into that real quick because I need to talk to these young people. And I say young people particularly because I expect everybody in my age group on up to already know this shit. Okay? Because, see, we grew up hearing you got to do twice as much. You got to be twice as good to get half as much. Y'all heard that. Hell, that phrase is so legendary in our community. It's so fucked up that it's so true. The great Shonda Rhimes had that shit put in to Scandal, you know, her hit show featuring Kerry Washington. There's a scene with Kerry Washington and her father, not her real father, but her father on the show. No, Olivia Pope's dad on the show. And he was getting on her ass and reminding her of that. You gotta be twice as good to get half as much. So I expect all of the OGs to know that. But I need my young people to know this shit, especially y'all football players. Because y'all should have learned that shit on yesterday. But let me go back in coach mode real quick so I can deliver this message appropriately. Y'all, I got a free $100 gift card to Walmart from Windows USA. And here's how you can do the same thing. Someone referred me to Windows USA, okay? They contacted me, and they told me that they would give me a free $100 gift card to Walmart if I allowed them to come to my crib and simply do a presentation. So I did, and this is what I got. Now, I did end up buying the windows, you feel me? But you don't have to. You'll still get the free $100 gift card to Walmart just by allowing them to do the presentation. Now, since I did purchase some windows, that allowed me to become a part of their referral program. And this is how that works. You submit your name, phone number, and address to me via one of my social media accounts. You will see it on the ticker down there and in the description of the video. I will relay that information to them. They will give y'all a call. They will set up the appointment with you. You let them come in and do their presentation. And there you go. You'll get this free $100 gift card to Walmart, and they'll pay me $100. So not only do you get a chance to get a free $100 gift card to Walmart, you also get a chance to help your homeboy first out by getting me $100 too. Now, I have nothing to do with the sale of the windows, all right? So there's no pressure to buy the windows. If you just let them do the presentation, you'll get that free $100 gift card to Walmart, and I'll get that $100 that I told you about. Now, that's a lick y'all don't want to miss out on. So go ahead and hit me up today with your name, address, phone number. I'll get it over to them. Y'all set up y'all appointment, let them do the presentation, and let's get this money. Everybody stop talking right goddamn now. Attention. Attention. And let me reiterate now. You can't do what they do and beat them. You can't do it. Now, somebody might say, well, first, their head coach was a black man. He's a worker. He's a worker. He's an employee. If he doesn't win the Sun Belt or be in contention to win the Sun Belt, they're going to get rid of his ass and move on to another employee. You know what I'm saying? Now, you might say, well, first, 75-80% of the players on the field for them were black. They're workers. They're employees as well. If their ass don't get out there and play right, they don't get rid of their ass. The power resides in the purse, the money. Okay? So when I'm talking about them, I'm talking about the program as a whole. And the motherfuckers who run that program are white people. You feel me? Now, you may also say, well, first, you said this is not targeted at only the players of Jackson State. Hell, you want the students and the young people of Jackson in general to heed this message. What they ain't competing. They ain't trying to beat them bullshit. Bullshit. This life is competitive, Jack. Competitive. Your ass, you out here competing for jobs. You're competing for jobs. You understand? You're out here competing for housing. You're out here competing for spouses. If that girl bad, another motherfucker want her too. If that brother got something going for him, another woman want his ass too. You are competing. You understand me? Competing. And so, yes, you need to heed this shit as well. You can't do what they do and beat them. See, this is a metaphor I've been using, I know, since I was in my 20s. That we as black people in America are down 20 points in this game of life. From the moment we are conceived. I used to say from the moment we're born, but they just declared it an emergency here in the Mississippi about infant mortality. You feel me? You got so many deaths right when you get here. You got so many miscarriages. Hell, it's hard to be born. You understand? So from the moment of conception, your black ass is down 20 points in this game of life here in the United States of America. Despite this being our home. This is a home game, Jack. And we down 20. You're playing from behind. You understand? And we at home. That's how fucked up it is. And now think about it. Some people, some teams have been able to come back from down 20. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I was just watching a Laker podcast with Byron Scott. You know, shout out to B. Scott. And he was interviewing Brian Shaw. Shout out to B. Shaw. And they were talking about when my Lakers came back in the Western Conference Finals against the Blazers back in 2000. You feel me? They were down big in the fourth quarter. You know, they came back, won that game. When the Patriots came back on them Falcons in that Super Bowl, you know, that comes to mind. It happens. Teams come back. But when you're down, there are certain things you can't do. Certain things you can't afford to do. You feel me? Like you go back to that Super Bowl, Tom and them couldn't turn that ball over. And Belichick's defense couldn't allow any more scores. You know what I'm saying? They had to play damn near perfect football. You know what I'm saying? To come back. Same thing with my Lakers. They had to lock in defensively against the Blazers. And they had to knock down some shots. You know what I'm saying? But see, what's so fucked up about our existence here is that in those games, the Lakers did something to get down in that game. The Patriots did something to get down in that Super Bowl. We just exist in this bitch. And because you're black, because of the legacy of slavery from 1619 to 1865, the legacy of Jim Crow from 1865 through the 1960s, and now continued systemic discrimination, because of that, that's why your ass down. That's why you down. Now you might say, first, I came here to talk football. What the fuck you talking? Politics and history and all that kind of shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Because in that goddamn game, there was not a vast difference in talent. There wasn't. Okay? The quarterback jumped off the screen. Okay? He can throw the ball well. He runs the ball very well. But what else did you see on that field on yesterday? And you said, hey, they just better than us. They just better than us. You ain't see that. You ain't see that. But what you did see is us doing some shit that you can't do in those situations when you're on the road. Now, notice I said black people, we're down in America, and this is a fucking home game, okay? But in sports, you play home games and you play road games. Y'all ass went on the road, where even if you were playing at HBCU, you're not finna get a good whistle, or in this case, a good flag. You're not finna get it. You're not finna get it. Now, stack that being on the road with now you're an HBCU on the road against a group of 5 PWI. Oh, then add in there that it's in state. So you should have gone into that game knowing you're going to get some bullshit from the refs, which we did get some bullshit. Okay? We had some bullshit. It was a bullshit holding penalty on Kamara Rogers that denied us getting off the field. They got away with a false start. This is in the first half. They got away with a false start on that play. Okay. They threw the ball deep, and it was a bullshit holding call on Kamara. Luckily, Quincy Ivory got us off the field with a sack. Okay. Shout out to that young king. He is balling. He continues to ball. Okay. And yes, the refs in the second half refused to call a PI on a go ball down the sideline early in the third. We had a step. Finally, we had a step on somebody, and it was a PI. The ref on the opposite side could clearly see they had a great vantage point. I saw Coach O telling them, bro, you looking at the shit. They didn't call it. Didn't call it. There were some other 50-50 balls that we had where a lot of hand fighting going on, but hey, they didn't call it. But that's baked in. You knew that shit was going to happen. So I go back to you can't do what they do and beat them. You can't. See, it ain't like FBS teams don't commit penalties. Okay? Of course they do. But I said you can't do what they do and beat them when you already got all this shit going against you. So you can't sit up here and have all these goddamn offensive pre-snap penalties. You can't have that. You cannot fucking do that and win that game. You cannot let motherfuckers block a punt and return that bitch for their first score. You can't do that. They were coming after them bitches in that first half. They were. Again, they blocked that punt and got their first touchdown. They ran into the punter one time and hurt that brother. And they got a hand on another punt. That's fundamental football. That's fundamental football. So we can't let shit like that happen and beat them. You understand? I've been telling y'all to visit kingmcneal.com for the longest now, but y'all thought it was a game. Check this out. I told you, if you a D9 member, they got you. Take a look at the inventory. Y'all see everybody is represented right here. And they got something new for y'all too. They got a collegiate collection. Let's check this out. Now, some of these haven't been stocked yet, but they do have the license for all of these institutions that you see right here. All right. And if you're wondering why Jackson State University isn't listed, don't blame King McNeal. They've applied. But let's check out what they got over there for A&M. Let's just see. Come on, dog. If you got somebody in your life who's a real one over there down with A&M, you might well go ahead and buy something for them. Look at that. Ain't that hard? That's hard right there. That's hard right there. And they got this kind of stuff either right now for all those institutions I just showed you, or they got it on the way. So shop with the King McNeal collection. And as I always say, just tell them first sent you. Also in the first half, their second score, their second touchdown, that shit shouldn't have happened. Okay? On one, I couldn't see the replay. Okay? They didn't show the actual hold, but they called a defensive holding on the crucial third down when they were outside the field goal range. Okay? So again, road game, maybe it was a bullshit call again. I couldn't see it. Okay? If it was a bullshit call again, we chalked that one up. If we did the shit, that's once again something we can't fucking do and beat them. But outside of that, this next shit was completely in our control. Same drive. We failed to bring the quarterback down on third down for a sack. Despite two, not one, two of our players having a chance at that motherfucker. Now again, that kid seems to be a baller. He's the preseason conference player of the year in the Sun Belt. Okay? He led his previous team, Marshall, to the Sun Belt title just last year. Okay? But again, you can't do what they do and beat them. You have to make those goddamn tackles. You must. You must. Okay? Jacobian got nicked up real quick. And then seemingly a couple minutes later, he was fine. But he was out there one play. And Stover threw a pick. Jacobian might have should have hopped up and goddamn went back to that huddle. If he was fine that quickly. because you can't do what they do and beat them. Either he had to play through that, or Stoper damn so can't come out there and throw that pick. You understand? Or maybe we don't call that play to make the backup have to throw the ball in that moment. Maybe give him an easy throw, a screen pass, or run a draw play. I don't know. But you can't do what they do and beat them. You can't. We do too much damn celebrating on offense to be up here running a no huddle trying to be up pace offense. We do too much. Fuck that shit. We trying to get the next play in. Act like you did that shit before. And again, I'm only saying this because of the type of offense that we trying to run. You feel me? Like, if we running a typical huddle offense where I know y'all get what, 40 seconds, whatever the fuck y'all getting, get to run back to the huddle and everything, cool. But if the name of the game is, okay, let's keep this bitch rolling. Y'all ain't got time to be doing all that shit. And I know the Southern Miss was doing some of the thing in terms of trying to be fast, but they wasn't sitting up here. At least on again, I wasn't at the game. I watched on TV now. So my vantage point was limited because I'm not at the game. But on the screen, you see them motherfuckers looking for the ref, trying to throw the ball to the ref so they can get to the line of scrimmage and goddamn get to it. That's what we got to be on. You feel me? And I want you to be enthusiastic, but let's be enthusiastic as we get this bitch in the end zone. Let's be enthusiastic as we get this dub. Because if the coaching staff is trying to go up tempo and your ass up here, man, stop that shit, get to that goddamn line of scrimmage. You can't do what they do and beat them. Shit. We should have had a pick on 3rd and 3 near the end of the third quarter. We had another sack, but didn't get the boy down. And Braxton was able to, USM's quarterback, he was able to still throw the ball, but he threw it inaccurately. Okay, the ball went off his receiver's hand and bounced in there. We got to get that pick. We got to take advantage of those kinds of plays. We can't miss that motherfucker. And I think the young king caught a bad cramp or something like that. But I needed that pick. We needed that pick. Because you can't do what they do and beat them. You cannot miss out on those opportunities and beat them. Because on the next play, we went offsides, which led to their fourth down conversion. You understand? You can't do what they do and beat them. TC knew that. TC knew that. That's why TC dropped his nuts in the first half and went for it on 4th and 1 on our own damn 19. He said we got to be unconventional. We got to do something extraordinary. We got to do something that maybe I wouldn't do this shit against Southern on the road at our own 19. Maybe I wouldn't do this shit against Fam. But to beat these motherfuckers down here in Hattiesburg, FBS opponent, beating an FBS opponent is something Jackson State has never done, even under the iconic, the historic W.C. Gordon. TC said, I got to do something. Y'all executed that. And y'all got that done. I was very proud of that. I was very proud of that. I was very proud that you outrushed your FBS opponent. Okay, ESPN has us down for 191 yards compared to Southern Miss's 139 yards. Okay, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we won time of possession. I'm proud of that. Okay, I am. But goddamn it, the 12 penalties, 12 of them. Can't do that. Missed opportunities to get the quarterback on the ground. You can't do that. Not and beat them. Missed opportunities to get a pick. You can't do that. Allowing a blocked punt for a touchdown. You can't do that. Not winning 50-50 balls. You got to win them. If Jacobian puts that bitch up on the outside and you got single coverage, you got to say, motherfucker, this mine. And you got to grab that bitch up out the sky. You got to high point that bitch and say, motherfucker, this is mine. You understand? Because you can't do what they do and beat them. So keep that shit in mind, young people. Okay? Continue to bust your ass. I feel very confident. In saying that we're going to go back to back as not only SWAC champions, but also HBCU national champions. I feel confident in that. Matter of fact, book it! But I don't want you to lose sight of what could have been in that game. Because going forward in your life, okay, your life away from football, I want you to remember that you got to be better. You got to be better, okay? And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that's our plight here. It's unfortunate that the racial wealth gap is what it is. It's unfortunate that continued systemic discrimination occurs in this country. It's unfortunate that America uses our culture, profits from our culture, but hates the people who make it. That's unfortunate. But I want you to remember, you can overcome that shit. But you can't do what they do and beat them. And lastly, to all the fans, to all the real ones out there who are truly down with Jackson State University. If you're not signed up for the KC 1400 Collective, your ass need to do so now. Because you can't do what they do and beat them. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's more white people in this country. It's vastly more white people in this country than black people. That's one. Two, the racial wealth gap is so substantial that one donor, one damn donor for them can dwarf what 10 of us can do. Just can. So that's why we have to work even more collectively if we want to one day make history and pull off that FBS victory. You understand? And Ken Clark ain't told me to say none of this shit. Terronte Day ain't told me to say none of this shit. I don't get a goddamn thing out of the KC 1400 Collective. I ain't getting no money off that shit. I have contributed money to that shit. But I want to win. I want to win. As a black person, I want us to win. I want the university to win. I want every scholar at that bitch to win. But I know our athletic programs are the #1 advertisement for the university. So by contributing to the KC 1400 Collective, if you saw something out there that you didn't like, goddammit, you can help us get the players we need to rectify that problem. And not only for football, because basketball has whooped teams like that. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. Okay? So we need your support. Join the collective. Because, see, it's a bunch of white folks who don't contribute to their schools, collectives. There's a bunch of white folks. Most white folks don't contribute. Most white folks aren't boosters. They in their group chats and talk about their teams and go in the barbershop and talk about their teams just like you do. But again, you can't do what they do and beat them. So let's be different. Let's be better. All right? And oh yeah, that racist post that was made by the Southern Miss supporter, I'm about to address that momentarily. Make sure you watch. Put it on some. I appreciate you watching. I think you'll enjoy these other videos too. So check them out now.